Hey guys, Alcoholic Nerdgasm here once again, and with The Hell, and today we are playing the Stanley Parable. Now, what I do know about this game is that it's heavily narration based, so there's going to be a lot of me just kind of shutting up and letting the narrator talk, but in the gaps in between I'll try and provide some commentary. There is a full release for this on Steam. I don't know the price, I'll probably put it down below in the description. But there is a mod, a Half-Life 2 mod, which is the original version. And that's what we're playing today. Now, like everything that's made... anything that's made for Half-Life 2 is built on the Source engine. And... yeah, it seems to have an interesting premise. I mean, I've seen the demo for the full release version, and it was actually really funny, so I'm hoping we'll have some good chuckles in this. Anyway, we start a new game, and done. Let's do this.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Hi, Stanley.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard.
Sounds like my job.
Orders came to him through a monitor next to his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job.
Ooh.
And Stanley was
Okay.
happy.
We'll be monitored, I see.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened.
Plot
Something that would
twist.
forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget.
Stabbed?
He had
Shot?
been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on a monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi.
It's because no one likes you, Stanley.
Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and walked out into the hallway.
Okay. Yeah, pretty standard Half-Life 2 textures. I'm assuming, so this is the big screen. Can I play with the buttons? I guess I can't play with anything. Into the hallway.
Stanley decided to go to the staff lounge to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him.
You need to man up, Stanley. Honestly, this would be my dream job in an office with no one else in it. I mean, I struggle dealing with people. I don't know. Anyway, so okay.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Right, okay, this is left. Nope. Can I actually open any of these doors? Nope. I'm just gonna assume that you can't at all.
As Stanley entered the lounge, he was horrified to find not a single person here. He decided he would walk up to see his boss, hoping that he would find an answer there.
I'm even more disgusted at the state of that kitchen. Just look at it. It's disgusting. Clean up, someone. Okay, this thing's not terrible, but Jesus Christ. It would kill me if I let this stuff get that bad. And over here seems to be, pretty sure that's from the first game. Pretty sure. Let's go. Hello? See, when it says big blue monitor, it's like, I get this big blue monitor that tells me everything I have to do. And then, this guy just gets to do it in his own time. Gonna assume that I'm extremely low level in this company. know if I can
Coming
pee
to
on.
a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay. Beep boop. Done, but following directive. Here we go. I don't like how these doors are closing behind me. I feel like I'm getting hemmed in. Can I even return it? Open them? No, I can't. So I can't go back. Fair enough. Maybe it's a way of sort of funneling you through the story. Nice office.
Entering his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human
Except the
life.
existence of an office.
It was at this point that he began to feel dizzy and a little sick, and even thought he might pass out, when suddenly he noticed a keypad next to the filing cabinet in the corner of his boss's office.
Awesome.
Stanley had never seen this panel before, and had no idea what combination of numbers would produce any
In the
result.
desk.
In fact, only Stanley's boss knew this, since the panel withheld access to the boss's greatest, darkest secret. And so he had assigned the keypad a combination that only he could possibly know. The number of his freshman dorm number in college. 1957. But of
So
course, Stanley couldn't
Of course he
possibly
couldn't.
have known this.
There's no way. I say this. Instead of like giving me a like a little puzzle or something, like having to search his desk to find it, he just tells me. And it's actually quite amusing, I have to say. Usually that'd be game breaking. Well, maybe not game breaking as a bug way, but
Stanley
game breaking
just
for.
sat around twiddling his thumbs.
Of course he
Trying
did.
to input anything on the keypad was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 1957.
Of course he wouldn't. There's no way he'd know. In the filing cabinets, he'd find it. Oh crap! I was pushing the buttons.
1957.
All right. I'll get it. 1957.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. Stanley ventured forth into the newly opened passageway.
What could this all possibly mean? I'm gonna be honest though, if I was in Stanley's situation, I found a dark tunnel in his boss's office, I wouldn't go in it. I'd walk the fuck away. I'd keep my job, but and possibly not get killed by whatever. Oh, come on, honey, stay with me. There we go. Yeah, I mean, I'd try to keep my job and not get killed by whatever secret organisation he works for. It's kind of memorable of a few might know the game Future Wars, because he is about a window cleaner that goes into his boss's office and finds a time machine, essentially.
As he drew deeper into the bowels of the building, Stanley had no idea where he was or what this place held. And just as he began to think he might not discover a thing, he emerged into a long room to find
Dun dun dun!
rows
The
and
TVs.
rows of monitors. Screens with a number above it.
That's our one.
Stanley noticed, however, that these were not random numbers, but the number of employees who worked in the building, his co-workers. Even his own number,
What happened to the
427,
previous
had a place
250?
on the wall.
That's what
But
I want to
why
know.
set up so elaborate, he asked. Was this simple surveillance or something even more? And as if in answer to his question, the wall slid open before him, revealing the ultimate truth of the situation.
Dear Jesus. Okay. What was our boss planning? World War III? I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, I think Phil has to set up like this somewhere in his house, but that's Phil.
An enormous control panel Stanley discovered, but not one that controlled simple machinery.
Buttons.
Buttons were labeled with emotions. Happy, sad. Levers and knobs controlled actions. Walking, eating, doing work, or watching TV. Every input on this device monitored not the functions of a machine, but of a human being. And the reality began to sink in. Stanley, like so many other people, reduced to images on a monitor, had been under someone's control, always at the mercy of this machine. Could this have been
Machine
the
for
only
pigs?
reason employee number 427 was content with his boring job?
You're just a boring
That a
person,
machine
Stanley.
had altered his emotions to accept it blindly? He began to feel an unbridled rage, and at the peak of his anger, something happened. A spark. Stanley looked up and saw the generator overhead, still providing some small amount of power to the machine, keeping it
Let's
alive.
destroy it.
And knowing that this generator was all that kept the controls running,
Oh dear.
Stanley moved to the ladder in the back of the room and began to climb towards the rafters.
I'm liking the narrative style. I wouldn't say story-based. I mean, it's not really that much of a story. I think it's, yeah, it's more of a narrative,
The
but...
higher Stanley climbed, the closer he felt to freedom, the further from enslavement.
You've only just found out you've been a slave, man. I mean, come on. Can't have that sort of feelings after that. So I'm assuming we're going to be destroying this. Aha. See, I like how there's only two options. It's just... It's like a final choice in a Mass Effect game or something of that type. You get the good or the bad. You can't have, you know, both. Or none. Couldn't he just like sit in the room and starve to death? That would be a nice option. Anyway, let's disable this generator. Whee! Yay! Oh.
Blackness,
No damn.
power gone, all alone. And then
Oh. Aha! Out into the freedom!
as he stepped through the door into the fresh outside air, a feeling of liberation rushed through Stanley's body. He had seen
Oops.
power, he had seen enslavement, and he had destroyed it. The underling was in control now. He had found his leading role.
Cybershot killed.
Stanley never discovered why everyone had gone missing, nor how and when he had come under the machine's control.
Is everyone in the
But
world
it didn't
gone?
upset him terribly, because he knew that this was how things were meant to happen. All he felt was a delight unlike any he had ever known before.
Blowjob.
Never again would he follow someone else's orders without question. Never again would anyone tell Stanley where to go, what to do, or how to feel. No more bosses. No more instructions on a screen. Stanley decides for himself now.
Is he like breaking
And he
his
stepped
flight?
out into the world, and he felt the cool breeze upon his skin, and Stanley was happy.
Aww. I'm still wondering why he's floating through the air. I see that as a problem. Maybe we should get that checked out. I think that was it, really. Now, quite clearly there's a point where you can disobey, because there was those first doors, and I'm assuming that leads to another maybe story arc. So I think I'll just give the outro over the credits here. But I will be coming back with this week. My video will be coming out on the Thursday, so keep an eye out for it, where I decide to disobey and fight the voice. I'm assuming you then enable the generator at the end of that one. But I don't know. Anyway, this has been Alcoholic Nergasm with the Hell. This is the Stanley Parable. And there will be a download link for the mod down below. Just so you know, you will need Steam, and you think you need Half-Life 2 to be able to play the game. And if you've liked this video, please like, comment if you have anything to say about it. And if you want to see more of our stuff, please subscribe. Bye.